What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into the iTipWell report. My name is iveriani. I hope all is well with you today. I want to say rest in power to Angie Stone. On March 1st, I saw the alarming news on social media, and I'm going to tell you, I have gotten so used to when I see about it's an announcement of an artist, legendary artist, getting in an accident, transitioning, the list goes on. I try not to say anything right away because a lot of times, sometimes it's not real and you don't want to believe it. And I'm going to tell you, in this situation with dealing with hearing this news about Angie Stone, I was like, nah, this ain't real. Something's wrong. I knew immediately. I was like, something's wrong. Something is wrong. So I just sit back, wait a few days, and, watch and see if the publicist or the family is going to come out and make a statement, which that did happen. And I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I'm in shock. It was reported that Angie Stone was in a car accident, and it was at 4 a.m. She was coming from Alabama, going to Atlanta, and this is 4 a.m. I said, yeah, and she was hit. Her SUV truck was hit by a huge truck, and it flipped 3 times. That's what I'm seeing in publications. They said her son was driving. They said other people was with her. And they said everyone survived. This is what I'm hearing from the news. Everyone survived except her. And I will tell you, this is weird. I recall in my 20s buying Angie Stone's album. This album that you see right now is her first debut album, Black Diamond. I played this to pieces. She was positive. She was talented, and she had talent. Rare, good, Southern, loving, universal. It's not just Southern, but just universal talent where you could feel it. You know how when you hear certain vocalists, you be like, yo, I feel that. She was that artist. My favorite tunes that I played to pieces was Brother. Between the first debut album of Black Diamond, what you see now, and then her second album, Black Diamond came out in 1999, and then her second album, Mahogany, came out in 2001. I was in my 20s finishing up college. And when I tell you I played those albums to pieces, went out and support and bought her albums, best thing I could ever have done. Favorite songs, like I said, Brother, No More Rain in This Cloud, Every Day was my #1 favorite. I love Brother. Simply reason why I love Brother, I know I'm going back and forth, but the simple reason why I love Brother, she, to me, was like, in my era of growing up, being in college, she was an artist, to me, a first artist to salute black men, to encourage them. That song is everything. I know black men who have heard that song, and just in generally, they like, thank you. Like, you hear the lyrics. I mean, if you get a chance, go watch the video. She got everybody in the video. You'll be like, what? She got Diddy in the video. She got D'Angelo, which is the father of her son. She got every brother you could think of that is successful in that video. It is amazing. And she was saluting them. You feel the vibes, you feel the energy. That's good quality music. That's what we need now. I don't see no new artists doing that now in regards to encouraging black men in general. But I'm just saying, she kept the real. She encouraged black men like, I love you. I know you have your issues. This is what it is. That's an impact. Positive vibes. You can't even get that now. You can get into certain things, but I'm just saying. Love that song. And then Every Day, her vocal work was everything. I played those two albums out on a consistent basis. And then I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, I didn't hear or see anything of Angie Stone until years later. And I was wondering, like, Dad, what happened to her? And it's so crazy that circle back, now I'm in my 40s. A few months ago, I was listening to her commentary. I was listening to her lives. You know, just to get, I like to look at interviews to get a perspective, to learn, to listen, to see what the artist is going through. And she started talking about things, and I was like, wow. She was breaking down a lot of things. And I was like, wow, I just hope, you know, she will be okay. That's all I thought of that. Right? Then for a while, I didn't hear of her commentary. And then this happened on March 1st. What a way to start March. Oh my goodness. This is tragic. This is really disappointing to hear. This was, to me, unreal. I'm going to tell you guys now, I don't believe this was just an accident. It just doesn't give me accident vibes. And I know a lot of people can agree with me. Just imagine you're going to an Angie Stone show. I know whoever went to a show in Alabama, they probably had, they had no idea this is going to be the last show. They experienced the last highlight experience of her career, like performing. That's like, could you imagine going to one of your favorite artists' shows, such as Angie Stone, and you're enjoying yourself, and then you get to meet her? She gives me very warm vibes, and I like that. I never got the opportunity to meet her. I wish I was able to, but you know, everything happened for a reason. But she just always gave that warm Southern vibe. I looked up to see where she was from, because you know, I listen to so many different vocalists and music. It's so many talented artists out here that you can't keep track of where they from all the time. And I was like, yo, I never questioned where she was from. South Carolina. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shout out to South Carolina. They got some gems. It's a lot of talented people in South Carolina. That explains it all. I remember she's in a high-profile relationship with one of my other favorite artists, D'Angelo. He had a son. Oh my goodness. Then she has a daughter named Diamond. I wonder, did she name her first album after her daughter? Because this is called Black Diamond. When did she name this? It's kind of interesting. But I remember that, and people were all, going crazy about that. And I didn't realize that she co-wrote D'Angelo's first album, Brown Sugar. Played that album 2 pieces. If you listen to D'Angelo's Brown Sugar debut album, you'd be like, oh my goodness. Angie Stone, you will be missed. You will definitely be missed. And I'll tell you, when you have good music, a legendary artist like Angie Stone that's going to give you just the gems. She's going to give you them vibes. You start having flashbacks. Like, I have flashbacks of where I was when I was listening to her music. I was in my second apartment, struggling, finishing college in North Carolina, playing her tunes to pieces. Oh my goodness. This is so sad. But what's really sad is that, guys, I saw her last... Like, people started talking about it on social media. I saw her last live. Because I was like, wait a minute, they talking about this last live. And in this last live, which was a few weeks ago or so, second to the last live, she talked about how she wasn't getting paid her royalties and her stuff wasn't published correctly from Universal Music Group, which is known also as UMG. Like, is it me? I'm hearing a lot of stuff about UMG. I'm hearing stuff about a lot of labels, but UMG keeps coming up. Like, people keep suing them. Oh my goodness. She talked about how she released so much music. She wrote for people. She collabed with people. People stole her stuff, and she has not gotten all her money. She said, listen, I could have retired years ago. Do you know how heartbreaking that was to hear? For me, personally, being a music lover first, artist management second, that was alarming. And then, not beside the record label that she's complaining about, which is very scary, she also talked about management. And me being an artist manager, that's cringy. I'm like, yo, how do you sleep at night? You don't make sure your artists get their publishing together. You don't check and make sure, even if, like, you don't do the work to make sure stuff is done correctly. You know how crazy is that's to hear? I just remember in my experience of doing artist management, I was so like, I gotta have everything together. I gotta have this. I want to make sure the artists have their monies. I want to make sure, like, no. You got so many bad managers out here that are just robbing the artists and everything, and they are like, this is why people are so angry with managers. I'm gonna tell you guys, I have a paper trail for everything. I do. Just not my style. How you manage a phenomenal artist like Angie Stone and you don't make sure her publishing and stuff done? Even if you don't know how to do it, you find that the information is out there. somebody at the label. It sounded like a setup. Oh my goodness. Then she talked about how she thought people were her friends and they're not her friends in the music business. And I was like, yo, she was hurt. I could relate to that because you could feel that hurt. Music business is a grimy business. It don't have to be like that, but it's because they've made it like that. It's grimy. You really have to pay attention to folks. You really have to keep a paper trail of stuff, especially when you're doing management, especially as an artist. This is where, and she did admit, she said, you know what, I had this team and I trusted them and I just thought they had everything together. But the reality is, guys, as an artist, and I tell any artist that, as well as a manager, you got to make sure your stuff is on point. You do. You do. You have to make sure your stuff is on point. You know, if I go and set up the publishing and all of this stuff for my artists, I'm gonna have the paperwork. I'm not gonna have you out here looking crazy, doing videos talking about yo, my manager didn't do my publishing and my mechanicals and my royalties. This is what she said in her life. You know how cringing that made me feel? I was like, what? I've managed artists. I would tell you that I would have to, like, get on them at times. Hey, can we get this done? Can we get this done? You know? A manager that cares, they're gonna be on top of things when you're not. You know, I'm not saying managers don't make errors, because they can, but it's like, come on, y'all. It's hard to find a good manager. So when you do, it's like, that's why when people, I'm going to tell you, when artists find a good manager, they hold on to them like gems. But I would tell you, as a manager, don't cross your freaking artists. Don't do that. You're going to hurt them. You're hurting yourself and your name. But you're going to hurt them even worse. I fell for her. Angie Stone did all this work. I even seen she had stuff released overseas. All types of stuff. And she's saying she's pretty much saying in that live, the label has failed me. But she's saying it politely. But the reality is, if you look at her body language and how she feels in that video, the label has stolen. The managers have stolen. Then I found out she was coming out with a book. Memoir book. And it was all tell. What's up with these all tell-all books? Like, how did they find out she was coming out with a tell-all book? She knew some stuff. You look at all her lives, I guarantee you watch this video and go back and look at Angie Stone lives. Analyze how she's coming across, what she's saying, body language. She knows a lot. She probably knows so much she couldn't tell it. She wouldn't even probably make it out the house. Oh my goodness. Yo. I feel like she was taken away from us soon. This is just my opinion. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. They said she was 63 years old. That's young to me. I don't care what nobody says. 63 is young. She had booking. She said in one of her lives, she was booked all the way to 2026. She was excited. I was like, wow, that's heartbreaking. One of your favorite artists that you listened to years ago, and then she's, she's been putting out, what the crazy thing is? She's been putting out albums for years. But it looks like, from what I see, they haven't been promoted. Probably because it looked like she could have got blackballed. The list goes on. I'm like, oh my goodness. My condolences to her children. I know what it is to lose a mother. I don't know what it is to lose a mother in a car accident, but that is really deep. I do know what it is to lose a business partner. Rest in peace to Meta. He died in a car accident. So it's not a good feeling. It's shocking, and this was shocking. It was so shocking to me. I didn't want to believe it. I was like, please tell me this ain't real. Because they be coming out with stuff. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, if you look on social media, I think it's YouTube. I don't know who is doing this. They're putting out, I heard Angie Stone. I heard someone else, another actress or something. Some artists and some actors. Someone's putting out that they have transitioned and they haven't transitioned. Whoever's doing that, your channel needs to be taken down because that's horrible. But I heard something about her. They had her saying she transitioned. So that tells me a lot. Somebody was planning something. We have to pay attention. Oh my goodness. My condolences, like I said, to her children, to her family, to her friends. People are hurt. I think today I was watching Professor Griff. Salute to Professor Griff. I was watching his show, and he had a young man on his show. He said, this is like the same kind of recyclable thing. You remember that comedian called Tracy Morgan? It's the same thing happened to him. But the difference is he survived. This is scary. Something's weird. I think it's another girl, Melissa Ford. Same thing happened to her. Like, all I'm saying is, guys, we have to pay attention. We really do. You have to pay attention and not take life lightly and really appreciate anyone that's here that is just an amazing human being. We all have amazing gifts. Some people are aware of them, some people are not. Angie Stone, songwriting, talented vocalist that can really sing. You know how many artists out here that can't really sing like Angie Stone? I'm not making comparisons, but I'm just saying. We have to show these artists their flowers when they're here. And have their back and support them. I will tell you, being an artist manager, it's a lot of stuff that artists go through that you guys have, you will never phantom. You will never know. You will never know. You do have a lot of artists that will present themselves one way and be another way, and it's not good. It's so many things. But I would tell you is pay attention to what's going on. Angie Stone, you will be missed. I really can appreciate your contributions to music as a whole, universal. I appreciate you being the mother of neo soul and just being a warm, God-fearing, loving person. We felt it in your music. We felt it when you talk. You won't be forgotten. Let me know, guys, what's your favorite Angie Stone album? Because I just mentioned 2 that I bought, but she got a whole, like, bunch of releases. You know? I hope that her family gets the money that's due to her. Because that's not right. But hey, life is not fair. Rest in power, Angie Stone. Yeah, let me know what's your favorite tune from Angie Stone. Let me know your thoughts in regarding her in this accident. It is sad. It's very sad. Peace. And this is iveriani.